Hey everyone, before I get started, I just want to remind you that if you like my content, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and then join the Militiaman and Crew Patreon community by clicking the link in the caption. Hey, good afternoon everybody. Militiaman here. We're going to talk about a few things that have been going on with the Raffadane Bank is one of the things. Looks like they had some, as they say, wholesale corruption. The bank had to let go a bunch of people and withdraw the hands of the director general of the Raffadane Bank and a number of the department managers. And that was today. Ministry of Finance did that. The current management of Al Raffadane Bank, which has been withdrawn, is accused of several cases, including causing waste of public money, mismanagement, making administrative transfers on the basis of nepotism and away from the standard of competency and integrity, and the rise of unqualified people to assume administrative positions. Well, one of the three items that Al-Sudani had was take care of corruption. And so he's going methodically through many different angles, venues, and cleaning that up. We saw those 46 arrests, the 50 arrests, and then all the way up into the, all the way to the top, okay? So here again, while we're waiting, from Al-Sudani is basically stating that he's got some things that he wanted to take care of and wasn't able to get all that taken care of just yet. But the recommendations of the investigation committee, which will be announced soon, will include directing penalties to the accused, transferring them outside the bank, appointing a new general manager, tidying up the professionalism, integrity, efficiency, all of those things. The Ministry of Finance, TAFE Sami, decided to withdraw this person of the Raffadane Bank and 20 other officials and employees, male, female, either way, they just took them out. One of the things that they talked about is that the order of included the payment of half their salaries and a withdrawal period of, I think, about 60 days. So these people got themselves in trouble and they're cleaning it up. So that's a big deal. So another one of the key things that happened was why are we still waiting potentially? And one of the things that we found in the news today is that the Prime Minister, he's basically had to make some decisions, and what his advisor is saying, Mohammed Saleh, he's revealed that the federal general budget for the years 23-25 began to enter into force. And since the aforementioned law was published in the official gazette of the Republic of Iraq, there's been no mention of the 23-24 having been published. So that's going to come back in a minute here, but the man adds that the legal issues and materials that are related to the separation of powers or adding articles that constitute a spending burden on the general budget fall outside the powers of the Constitution for the House of Representatives when preparing legislation of the budget law. So noting that the power of the House of Representatives to amend, except for a legislation, or reducing expenditures and transferring between chapters. Kind of a word salad there a little bit, but the bottom line is the government is currently awaiting the implementation of the budget law, and it may obtain a state order from the federal court that requires a suspension of the contested articles or legal texts in the budget law in order to be frozen or suspended without implementation, and proceeding with implementation in the rest of the paragraphs until the issuance of the final decision. So in other words, there's certain things that were challenged to be unconstitutional. They'll set those aside, they'll freeze them, they'll suspend them, but they can keep moving forward with the budget law. And remember, this was to be expected. They knew about this, but yet today, you're going to see in a second here that they haven't published, according to this article, directly coming from the advisor to the Prime Minister, is basically stating that essential constraints awaiting the implementation of the general budget law so far, especially after the law was issued in the official gazette. But it's been issued on the 26th, but they haven't finalized it yet, and they haven't opened that budget. It's waiting for some results or making a decision, or they're going to go ahead and work it because they have the ability to isolate those paragraphs that were illegal, and they can move forward with the budget. It says the value of the current budget is 197 trillion, but they also mentioned that it's about 152 billion. Well, Iraq doesn't even have 197 trillion in their note count. They don't even have it. So we got to pay attention to certain things, because basically what it's coming down to is while the budget items for the 2023 and 2024 have not been published, if they haven't been published, that means they haven't effectively published an exchange rate of 1310 like a lot of the people out there are saying they did. They didn't do that. The Iraqi currency hasn't been put on the Forex. They have it as a marker, but it's not internationally traded. So be careful on what we're reading out there. These guys have a lot of work to do still. Not necessarily a lot of work to do. They've got a lot of work done. It's just that we're definitely waiting to see if they move forward with this 2023, 24, 25 budget collectively and have it hammered out. One of the other things that we've been waiting to see is where's the central bank governor been? Well, he reared his head this last 24 hours, and today he says the governor of central bank chaired a meeting with bank departments located in the Kurdistan region. So if you guys remember, a long time ago, quite a few years now, there was a central bank in Iraq that got blown up. Well, they rebuilt a bank or replaced it with something different, but here again, they're in Erbil talking about having a central bank in the Kurdistan region. They discussed the affairs of the banking sector in the region, upgrading its work to keep pace with developments, enhance financial inclusion, spread the culture of electronic transactions. So they're doing all the things that Baghdad's been doing for all this time. So here now in Erbil, they basically have that set up. It says the Association of Private Banks on the procedures related to the projects put forward by the central bank during the past week. So over the past weeks, they've been doing all these things. They're represented by the establishment of the Al Riyada Bank for small projects and the Loan Guarantee Company, and establishment of a finance and business center. They reviewed those things and talked about how positive these steps are and the progress that's made. So Alak has been making progress. We all know what's coming, and so it's almost like they're converging and tying into a specific time frame. Do we know what time frame that is? No, but we sure can see that they have an agenda, and that's to clean up the corruption. They're still moving forward on the banking sector, the finance sector, financial inclusion for the people. The 2023 budget is an INVET 23, 24, 25 budget. Hasn't been published, but they do talk about that it is an investment budget. They're talking about the allocations of all these finances that there's to pay for these projects, and they haven't seen that yet. And so that's why we're waiting for it. It's pretty good stuff. So another key factor to think about is that Al-Sudani, the prime minister, had meetings today with, Total. Total is a French company. He was received on Monday, and he's the CEO of the French company called Total Energies, Patrick Pouyanné. He is finalizing a $27 billion deal. That is an amazing amount of money. It's going to have a very positive effect on the country of Iraq. It's going to help them with energy, solar power, gas for electricity, all of these different things. It says the aspects of cooperation with this contract was recently concluded between Iraq and Total. These guys, they've made executive steps on the ground and stressed that the government has made great strides with the commitments to get to this stage. So there's also a contract with the company. The fifth licensing round will fall within the strategic vision of gas investment, which Iraq has started late, but now they've got it going. It says that al-Sudani renewed the government's direction towards concluding serious partnerships with major companies with regard to investing in natural resources. So it's not just gas, there's probably other things going on, minerals, and benefiting from associated gas in particular. So there's plenty of things that are happening. He basically goes on and indicates that his company's direction is broad in cooperation with Iraq. Their confidence in this energy, these fields of energy, and investment in promising and ambitious sectors in the field, like the solar aspect. He's stressing that the company's technical teams will begin their work in their locations within days. So they sign a $27 billion contract, and they're telling you that effectively they have an international deal and they're going to begin their work within days. That's positive, positive, positive. As far as I'm concerned, everybody should be excited about this, okay? Here, al-Sudani, during this French deal, have come a long way to reach this stage. This is a fascinating piece because it has implications of its own. It says the Iraqi Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani received the head of the French company at Total Energies after signing a deal worth 27 billion dinars. I don't know if that's a mistake, but that's what it says. That's the translation. 27 billion dinars, right? And you go back down here a little bit further on, they go and discuss this whole contract, fifth licensing and that sort. But it says on Monday, Iraq and the French giant Total Energy signed an energy agreement worth $27 billion. So they have it two ways in the article. Why would they do that? I don't know, but they did. And so you have to ask yourself, are they broadcasting something that they're similar? Is it just because it's a contract? Is it 1-to-1 ratio? Don't know, but that's what this article says. But the bottom line is they cut a deal, whether it's 27 billion dinars, which makes a big difference, because 27 billion dinars at 13.10 is not $27 billion. But we'll just leave it at this. It says they signed a deal worth 27 billion US worth of contracts, and that's an amazing amount of money, and it's going to go a long way. And keep in mind, this is just one major contract. There's going to be many, many more. And to build a country, we all know that it's going to take a lot of materials, natural resources, and a lot of employment to get it done. So that's what I have for you guys this evening. If you like my content, hit that subscribe button. And if you'd like to support the channel, please feel free to hit the donate button. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time. Once again, guys, don't forget to hit that like button if you like this content. Subscribe to the channel, or join us at the Militia Man and Crew Patreon community for even more exclusive content. You can also donate to this channel by hitting the links in the banner to help keep this page up and running. Your generous support is greatly appreciated, as always. Much, much appreciated. Thank you so much, and have a great day.